So what is corporate social responsibility and what it does and why? Corporate social responsibility is about how companies manage their business process to produce an overall impact on the society. Now, CSR takes into account 3 P's: profit, population, and planet. And the planet, the profit, and the population, they have all some common spaces. And in fact, any activity in the world relates to these 3. I can't find out even one activity which does not relate these 3. Even when I sell potato in the market, I connect people because I have to sell to the people. I connect planet because it has come from there, and I have to be little concerned about how to make a better potato. If I'm a teacher, I think I also need all the 3. I have to teach my students who are the part of the population, and those students perhaps will have to do something for the planet so that the future generation are perfectly all right. So you cannot name even one activity which is not connected with these 3. So any business, any action, any activity, any job is connected with these 3. Now, and these 3 I call partners of development. And these 3 partners have to work in unison. They cannot act independent of each other and not getting connected. The moment that misconnection happens or no connection happens, the result will be very horrible. The result will not lead to something which you would like to remember.
So my name is Dr. Lars Isaksson. I'm from Sweden from the beginning. So I've been working across the world, and I decided to take the step to teach the next generation of business leaders how to act in a profitable, successful, and yet sustainable and responsible way. I took the step over to Australia with my family, and we've been there for about 9 years, and researching and lecturing in business strategy, international business, and all the aspects of how to be successful and make money, but making it as a result of what we do, not always having that as a first objective. So I've been fortunate to work with a lot of several of the Fortune 500 companies and improving their businesses, etc., and across a range of countries along the world. So let's just start before we go into the CSR concept, what the typical corporate objectives are. And usually when I ask my students or business colleagues or executives that, what is the purpose of business? And it's of course 50-50 say, to make money. Because making money is easy, but to have the customers coming back, that's more difficult. So money making should optimally be the result of what you do as a business, the value creation. High CSP, we talk about social performance, that's basically the outcome of any CSR activities. If we have high CSR performance, we typically also become perceived as a company that has very high quality of the products, which engages a price premium. So it's sort of a protection. It actually then support the creation of products. In the value creation process, it's very interesting things we find. And that is the social performance actually induces stakeholder likings. Now, if you look at stakeholders, being then internal customers, employees and managers, or owners, and or external suppliers and customers, etc. We find, for example, suppliers might be more willing to have better conditions or higher discounting to companies that are perceived to be good, because we like to associate with good people, good companies. Because companies never do good or bad thing, it's the people and managers behind it who do the choices. Investors are more likely to provide lower cost of capital and on more conditional terms. And of course, the key thing we see in soft factors in European markets is that a good company, a company is perceived to be doing good, a nice company, have more easy to attract top talent employees without paying any higher salaries. So it become quickly a competitive advantage in the human resource area. And from the survivability aspect, we create reputational capital, And we also have some MCAP insurance. I'll go in more into detail in that soon. So we can actually protect the value, share price of companies. Mr. Chopra talked about in the initial speech that there was a fear of decreased share price, and what happens was it went the opposite way. But companies that has a good reputation and then are subject to some bad events on their own will or misfortune of others, they still have an insurance effect, because the markets typically look at such companies as, I can't believe they did it. This is a good company. It's out of character. And therefore give them the benefit of doubt and to recoup and justify any potential problems.
I just share with you one very interesting story. Some 30 years back, the company you must have all heard, Merck, it's a drug maker. They were number 3 drug maker. They had a competitor, a global competitor who had much higher, bigger market share. And they tried, like any other company, to capture the position number 2 or, if possible, position number 1. And they tried all the tricks, which is given in the marketing book, reducing price, increasing expenditure on advertising, promotional expenses, giving more discount to dealers. But whatever they did, their competitors did the same. And since competitors had more firepower because they were larger companies, it so happened that all their efforts was actually working counterproductive. They were in the verge of losing their market share. So they thought, this is not the right way to do it. And then something happened. There was an epidemic of river blindness in Africa. These 2 competitor companies, which were very big companies, were producing this drug to eliminate this epidemic. They thought these guys need our medicine, but they have no ability to pay. So there's actually no market. There's no demand, because demand means need with an ability to pay. So they said, let's forget it. There was a board of directors meeting in Merck's, and Merck's then chairman, who was the great-grandson of the founder, he said, we can't be a silent observer or spectator to this calamity. We must do something about it, because my great-grandfather who founded this company wrote that the first mission of the company is to eradicate diseases, fight diseases. Making money is our second objective. So he calls his CFO and says, okay, if I start distributing this medicine for free, what will happen? So the CFO comes with a calculation and says, look, this year you will have no profits, no dividends, so maybe your share prices will fall. This is 1 year of no profit, no dividend doesn't make any difference. Most of the shares are owned by our family. Some are outsiders who are in no hurry of selling the shares. So even if the share prices fall, it doesn't make any difference to them either. Next year we'll have back with profit dividends, so the prices will come back. So let's do this, start distributing the medicine for free. So he calls a press conference and said, look, we are distributing the medicine for free, but we also want volunteers to help. We want more people to go and help these guys to come out of this, fight this epidemic. So they created kind of a movement. Not only they started distributing the medicine for free, they also tried to involve more voluntary organizations who were willing to go and help these guys. Now this was a great belief. Just imagine 30 years back, most of the American or the multinational corporations were only interested in profits. There was nothing like CSR. So this was a great news for media. Media is always hungry for something new happening. So it was picked up, flashed across the globe. Every radio, every newspaper, every doctor's conference, everywhere this was the talk of the world. They were the volunteers, the people in this universities, colleges, they all started wearing t-shirts saying that, well done Marx, great Marx. And they were all covered by all kinds of media, newspaper, television, wherever television was there, radio and things like that. So Marx got a multi-billion dollar worth of publicity for free. And this was a very powerful publicity. It was no publicity where you are saying, oh, I'm the best, I'm the biggest. It is third-party endorsement. It is third-party endorsement that you are greatest. You are doing great job. Now what happened after that was even of more significance. What Merck had failed to achieve in the previous 10-15 years, using all the tricks which is taught in the marketing classes, happened actually. Not only they captured the market share of their competitor, the sale went up to 10 times. It was a year of record sales, record profit, record dividend, and the share prices hit the roof.